Well, good afternoon. This is Yovette again, and I'm back today to show you how to paint just a basic leaf that goes with the basic flower that I did earlier. And so it's going to be fun. Just grab your brushes and let's go ahead and get started. I've had so many people ask me to please do the leaves that go to the flower, and how do you put them in the flower. I want to first dip into my oil, like always. A little bit of green, a little bit of blue. It's just a generic leaf, and it'll go with so many different things. So the way to start out, and I'll do this fairly large, start out with just like a kite. Here is the stem. A stem never goes straight down the center. It's always got a little curve this way or a little curve this way. So try and keep that in mind when you're doing flowers and leaves. Okay, loading again. These are all, this is the heel, this is the toe or the end, the front. So these strokes are all going to go this way towards the back. And I'm just going to take and fill in a little bit because I want some color in the center. Okay, again, loading my brush. I'm going to start on the outside, and hopefully you'll be able to see this really well. Like I said, I'm going to do this really slow. Start way back here, touch, and come to your stem. That's one. Load again. You do this practically every stroke, you reload. Now this time I'm going to come right on that line and follow and lift. Load again. This time I'm coming outside the line. Lift. And one more here. Now this time I'm on the line. And maybe just one more right at the tip. Right here. Okay, now that's side one. Now to do the other side, it's the exact same thing in the reverse. You touch on the outside. Make your little S. Remember how we did that in the flower? We had that little S shape. Okay, same thing. Reloading. Now I'm going to go on the line. Lift. Ooh, that's too. There we go. Now outside the line. All this does is give you a variation of your edges, so it's not just boom, boom. And one here, right on the line, and right here. Then you just want to make sure I have enough paint on my brush here. Just come down, make that little center line. And that's a generic leaf. You need to learn to make these upside down as well as right side up and sideways, because flowers are all different ways. The directions are all different. So to do the other way, we would just go here, 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 here. This time our stem is down here, and here's the point. Okay, so this time we're pulling this direction down to here. A little oil medium, a little green, a little blue. You can vary these colors too in the leaves. They don't have to all be blue-green. Okay, so now we start, like I said, on the outside. Our little S shape, Okay, load again. This time we're on the line and lift. Now you notice I didn't fill in this time because this is a lighter one. Again, we're going to go outside the line, reload. I've got enough oil on my brush right now, I can feel it. It's really slippery, so I'm not going back into the oil every time. There. Now that's pretty. That's kind of a pastel. I like that. Okay, little more oil, little more paint. Okay, now this time we're going to start on this side. I hope you're going to be able to do this because this is really one fun leaf to do. I love it. It's in so many. And oh, to make a ghost leaf, do you know what that is? A ghost leaf is just a very pale leaf. I'm wiping off my brush. Just wiping it off, all the oil, all the everything. Okay, this time I'm not even going to make my little kite thing. All you do is just start here. That's going to be too pale, but this is called a ghost leaf. Sometimes you'll find it just in the background. Like it might be just somewhere, you know, it's just somewhere in the floral bouquet. If you want, let me wipe my brush again. Dip into your medium. This time let's go into some yellow. And let's just say let's say the light was hitting from this direction here. Go outside, just right outside the blue, right outside. All that does is highlight it. I'm wiping off my brush again on a paper towel. Little more medium. Now this time let's go into some blue. Now this would become a shadow side. So again, just right outside, and don't go all the way to the center this time. You're just doing the tips, basically. There. See, now you've got a sunny side and a shady side. So here's a generic flower. We're going to do the generic leaf. And I've already done a video on the flower. If you want to look at that, I'll put that down in the link below. And you can check that out if you like. This lesson is not on flowers, it's on leaves. So anyway, go into the medium, into some green. I've got pink in my brush, but that's not going to make any difference at all. So we're just loading that brush, both sides, nice and moist, nice and slippery. Okay, let's just, when you've already have a flower established, sometimes it's just easier to go in afterwards and just go in like this. Little more paint here. That's better. And you just sort of cut in and then just come out. Loading my brush with oil and paint. Let's maybe do one right here. This is just going to be a really simple one. It's nothing fancy at all. Again, groom my brush. This is what we call grooming. Go into the blue and the green. And we can do the kite. I don't need to, but we can. Actually, I think we won't do that. We'll just go in and do the leaf itself. So we'll just have to go by memory. So you come in here. Now your leaf would be going underneath the flower. A little more oil, a little more leaf color. Let's add a little pink this time. Woohoo! Okay, come underneath here. So I'm always thinking, pull back to the end of the flower where the stem would meet. Now, isn't that lovely? Let's do another one. You just go back, practice that the way I showed you with a kite, and do it over and over and over until you can do it without looking at anything, and then you know you've mastered it. So let's start right here. Let's go in here. This time, grab a little yellow. This is just for the variation of color. Let's start over here. We'll make this a nice wide one. Needs a little stem here. There. You could, if you wanted to, go into some white. Let's just do a daisy. 1, 2, 3. Oil, groom the brush. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I want a little bit drier. 1, 2, 3. And just a dab of yellow in the center, maybe with a little bit of there. Well, we have come to the end of another video, and I hope my slow teaching doesn't drive you crazy. I do hope you learned something this time, and I hope it makes it easy for you to incorporate a basic leaf into a basic flower. That's all for this time. See you next month. Bye-bye.